Ja Morant was fined $75,000. All because he did this after a shot, right? He did this after a shot. $75. Now look, we know that last year, Ja Morant pulled the gun out in the club on the internet for everybody to see. Bad move. Stupid move. But, you know, black people, we always make mistakes just like everybody else. Now, since then, the brother has reconciled himself. He has paid his dues and he is back in the league. Now, this is the thing that pisses me off.
Sonny, you motherfucker.
Every motherfucker that shoot threes hit a bunch of shots. They do the same shit. LeBron do it, but they coming down on Ja. It's not right. We living in a country where people want you to raise their motherfucking kids. I'm not your motherfucking daddy. And that's what's wrong with this world. That people think entertainers, actors, rappers, basketball players are supposed to raise your kids. And if that's the case, why we got all these badass kids? Why we got all these bad black children coming up in the hood shooting up shit? Acting a motherfucking fool. You tell me why. If that's working, these role models, we wouldn't have crime in the inner city. So that's bullshit. It's not gonna work. That's just like movies. If you want to find Ja Morant, then we should stop all the violent movies that play at the theaters that we watch on TV from being played. We should stop these games that your badass child be playing, practicing on how he gonna commit a crime. Cause these games that they be playing, Call of Duty and shit like that, they shooting guns like a motherfucker. And they sit in their room and they have the headphones on, playing the game all goddamn, they streaming and shit. Nobody ain't got a problem with that. We gotta stop trying to tell people what to do with the fuck their life.
Stop.
We gotta stop trying to tell people what to do with their motherfucking life. Worry about your own life. Raise your kids right, and you won't have to worry about when you see a famous basketball player shooting a shot and just having fun. That's all it is. But you know what it is? When you make a mistake in life, people that try to portray themselves to be perfect and miss good at two shoes and they can't do nothing wrong, they try to come down on you. That's like preachers that fuck people in the congregation that's married. Yeah, they stand up every Sunday talking that shit, talking about God, disrespecting God, being an imposter on the roster and fucking 2-3 people that's sitting in the audience. Yeah. I mean, it's the way we live in it. Same thing as crooked police. Ride around all day, lock people up, show up at the precinct with their uniform on, iron crispy. As soon as he get out on the beat for his shift, he pulling people over, he stealing drugs, he getting high, he buying pussy. You know, he harassing women that's prostitutes, asking them to give it to him for free because they out there on the street threatening to lock them up. This is what goes on in this motherfucking country. I'm talking this shit this morning because I'm fired up. I'm fired up that Ja Morant is constantly getting attacked. This is some sucker shit. This is some racist shit. This is some controlling shit. What it is, the people that have power are basically want Ja to be in his place. And he's in his place on the motherfucking basketball court, doing what the fuck he's supposed to do. This shit ain't right. And anybody think that they can say something about Ja Morant shooting a shot and doing a gun gesture after he hit it, something wrong with your motherfucking ass. It really is. It's fucked up. But you know, when you work for people and people are in control of your money, sometimes you have to just play by the rules at the end of the day. And you know, it's sad to say, but Ja, you getting a lot of money. Fuck that sucker hating ass shit that they doing to you. Just play your game, brother, and enjoy that big check you're getting and don't worry about the rest of this shit. Now, before I get into the show further, I want to talk about this. Everybody in life is not average. Okay. They have people that are going places. So when you meet people that are going places, stop looking at them like they're crazy. Like, for instance, a lot of times I meet people, right? Because I'm a comedian, I stick my motherfucking chest out about it. I'm an entertainer, I do social media, I am working hard to be successful. And I don't have no regrets, and I'm not tucking my tail for no motherfucker that don't believe, because I believe. Yes, and things are working. So when you tell people some shit like, I'm this and I'm doing this, or I'm finna move to this city, you know what they be saying? They be looking at you like, what? Why you moving there? They don't even have a thought to come to their head that this person is not average. This person is not regular. They are trying to do something extreme. They're not just trying to work, get old and die and go in the casket. Because that's what 70% of America is doing. They're working until they get old and gray, having a bunch of babies, until they get high blood pressure, going to the doctor, stressed out, and then they just leave this planet. Everybody not on this planet for that. And you know why it pisses me off? Because people watch people on TV all the time and they don't say that to them. But when they come in contact with somebody that's human, just like them, right in their presence, and they tell them that they working on the same things that they watch on TV people do, they look at you like you're crazy. Because the average person living is a fucking hater. You know, they are quitters. They have gave up on their life, so they think you're supposed to give up on yours. A lot of people give up on their life, and you can tell, because when you meet them and you talking about doing something irregular, they be like, this nigga crazy. He ain't gonna do shit. Nigga talking about he doing this. And niggas do the same thing like bitches. Man, that nigga talking about he finna do this. Man, that nigga ain't finna do nothing. Look how he sound. Uncle Tom ass nigga. And let me get to this shit, because there's a whole lot of shit been going on in the world. They got a lady, right? And this is wild. This is wild. They arrested this lady. They discovered 6 adults, goats living in inhumane conditions. You know what she was doing? She was a motherfucking caregiver, in charge of all these people money, stealing their money, treating them like shit. Now, when the police discovered these 6 people and goats living on a bus, this 61-year-old lady, she wasn't young. See, it ain't no age limit on being a crook. It really ain't. If you was a crook young, you're gonna be a crook when you're old. Now, this lady was 61 years old. Now, if you met this lady, you'll be like, hey, grandma, you'll push her groceries to the car. You'll help her put them in the backseat, and the whole time she's scamming and scheming. Now, this lady was taken into custody after the police found her, right? But check it out. They responded to a call at a Goodyear shop where they found a yellow bus with these people in there. Now, the bus had been traveling from Texas to Virginia, according to the station. Now, when they searched it, they found 6 people, right? 5 of them were disabled, and one of them had dementia. Now, you know she going to hell. One of the people didn't even know they were still around. Because when you got dementia, if anybody had somebody in their family with dementia, you clearly know that you don't know what's going on. You're just still here. The people had dirty clothes, were malnourished, and living in a space without running water, no food. This is wild. And guess what? After they identified as a caregiver, she had been staying in hotels and leaving them on the bus. Now, that's when you know you cold. This motherfucker was staying in a hotel, getting high. We know she was getting high, but leaving the people on the bus. You got to be a piece of shit to be 61 years old and leave a person with dementia and 5 people, other people on the motherfucking bus while you go get high in a hotel off of their money. That's why you got to put shit in place when you're young if you got money when you get old, because motherfuckers gonna treat you like shit. They gonna steal it and do your ass in. Moving on. Khloe Kardashian rips Lamar Odom. Now, y'all know Khloe used to be with Lamar Odom, right? Used to play with the Lakers. One of the ones that won the championship with Kobe Bryant. If you don't know, look up Lamar Odom. His daddy was on crack. Come to find out Lamar Odom was on crack. Boy, that's some motherfucking hereditary ass shit, ain't it? Just to pass down crack smoking to your son. That's fucked up. But anyway, Khloe and Kris Jenner reacted to Lamar getting a sex doll designed to look like Kim. And look, they said it's a bit sick that he ordered a custom sex doll. I mean, Khloe, my bad, to look like his ex, Khloe. This shit wild. Look, a lot of y'all do it. You play with yourself to people that you see and you like that you'll never get to meet. We all have done it. When I grew up, 8, 9, 10 years old, I used to look at pornos, magazines, and play with myself too. People don't want to admit it. If you human, a man or a woman, at some point, you got horny coming up and you did strange things. Now, when you get grown, you know better and you know, but people still play with themselves when they're grown. To make a long story short, this is a woman that he used to be with. And they probably had amazing sex in the bedroom that he'll never forget. One thing about life, if somebody fucked the shit out of you, you never forget that fucking. You don't. You never forget that orgasm. It's just lifelong because that ain't something that happens every day all the time. Unless you're not, I take that back. Some of y'all freak as hell and you just bust explosive nuts all the time. But I'm talking about normal people. You have situations and people that you run into throughout your life that you just be like, God damn, that shit was good. Like, what the fuck? I don't want it to never stop. And sometimes they be ugly. Sometimes they be fat. But when you had a sexual experience, it's just, you can't forget it. And I think that's what this was with Lamar Odom, because he didn't, assault her or try to take nothing from her. He just got a remembrance of her. And that's what you do. You know, a lot of times when you break up with somebody that you used to be with and the sex was good, but you know they ain't shit, what you do? What you do? Leave it in the comment. You play with yourself and you think about it. But you be like, I ain't get back with that motherfucker. But oh, they used to fuck the shit out of me. Everybody got their story where they can talk about somebody that used to fuck the shit out of them, but they ain't shit. And they couldn't stay with them. The relationship didn't work. Say I'm lying if you did. See, I talk about stuff that people don't want to admit because that's what we got to do. We got to stop hiding the real and acting like we perfect. And speaking of hiding the real, Wendy Williams was denied dinner with her niece and her lawyer. Now that's fucked up. See, look, they got a lady named I said it wrong. Sabrina E. Marissi. This is Wendy Williams' lawyer, right? And I hate to say it like this, but this is how I genuinely feel. And anybody that got something to say, that's your opinion. I think this is a racist Caucasian that is taking advantage of somebody with a mental health issue that they thought had a mental health issue. Now we all go through things where we think about stuff. We have a little stress. We're trying to ease our mind. And sometimes we do stuff that we shouldn't do. We make rational decisions. Wendy Williams made a rational decision to put this crooked motherfucker in charge of her. And since she did that, it has been treacherous for her. Now, this lady is stopping her from eating with her own blood. You can't justify this, people. You put somebody in charge of you, and they stop you from eating with your blood niece and your lawyer. That is obvious that something is brewing. Something is not right about this motherfucking situation. Now, why would she stop her from eating with her niece? Like her niece is up to something. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes your family members do be up to something, but this is not the case. This lady is trying her best to make sure that Wendy Williams never is free on her own again. And it's dangerous and it's sad. It really is that somebody could be in control of your life and make people think that you're crazy. Because if this goes on without Wendy Williams getting free, I'm really scared that they're going to do something to her. I'm being honest. I think they can put something in a drink and a food to make her go crazy because that has been done in history. People can do shit to you little by little, day by day to break your mental down and have you fucked up and people will never know. So prayers out to Wendy Williams that she get out of this devilish motherfucking situation. Now, speaking of devilish situations, a California soccer coach was allegedly sexually assaulted a teen during the murder. Mario Edgardo Garciano killed 13-year-old Oscar Hernandez while engaging in a performance of a lewd and lavish act. Now, Oscar's body was found last week in the ditch in Unart, California, and his family said his coach was the last person seen with him. Now, they initially arrested Garcia last week in connection with an unrelated sexual assault, but on Monday they said they had enough evidence to charge him. Look at this. This is a motherfucking soccer coach. You can't trust nobody no more. You can't. People that have jobs that we need people to have right now are doing the most. You know, when you take your kid to school, you think out of all the places you have to worry about, it wouldn't be school. Think about that. I mean, that's supposed to be the safest place you can go to. Now, when your parent or a parent drop a child off at school, you got to pray. I mean, that's why now phones is a must in school. You know how they should be like, take the kid phone? Fuck that. They got to pass a new law. All kids should have a motherfucking phone at all times in school for situations like this. Now, he's facing 2 charges upon age 14 and 15 in assault with intent to commit a felony. That's wild. That a soccer coach that's supposed to be teaching your son how to play soccer raped and killed your son. That's enough to make a person never want to send kids to school no more. Because we living in a time, no matter where we go or where we at, it's potential danger every motherfucking where. We as parents have to start teaching our kids everything that they need to know. The good and the bad. Teaching them how to look for signs of weird people. Telling our kids it don't matter if it's your daddy, your uncle, your sister, your cousin. If they touch your privacy, if they say something to you out of the way, you let people know right then and there. Because there's too many sick motherfuckers out here. It's just getting out of fucking hand. Every week it's a teacher playing with a student or sexually assaulting a student. Like, come on, this shit ain't normal. This is not fucking normal. Like, for instance, Tyreek Hill that played for the Miami Dolphins, right? Won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs years ago. This is a relationship story. His wife filed for a divorce after the cops came over for a domestic dispute, right? Now, according to the report, she told them that she called emergency services after she saw Tyreek throw a computer to the floor and then grab the couple's daughter. Officers on the scene stated that she told him that her and Tyreek had been arguing, and it was sparked by a comment that she said he was not involved with their daughter enough, and that's when he got irritated, says the cops, right? And look, this is a normal situation where a man is into it with their baby mother, and a lot of times you get so emotionally heated that you do something aggressive. Not towards her, not towards the child, but you're just mad. He didn't do nothing wrong. He never hit her. He never hit the child. He just picked the child up. Because this is what she's saying. When you're a motherfucking NFL player, you got practice, you got training, you got upkeep. Remember that. Because I know people gonna be like, well, the NFL season, it ain't even going on now. He should be a dad. That's what a lot of women gonna say, just trying to take up for her. Because women like to stick together, whether it's right or wrong. But this is wrong, in my opinion. Because I can just put in the mind of my thinking, and I know that's what she was saying. Now, half of the year, this man is playing in the NFL. It's hard to focus on your career when you're a sports player. Now, I'm not saying he's not supposed to be a dad. Don't even say that. But a lot of the load the mother has to take because, you know, I'm the breadwinner and I got to do a whole lot of work to keep this bread coming in. And it ain't going to be forever. I'm going to retire. If you're really down with me and we have kids, take care of the baby when I'm on the road, when I'm training. You know, whenever I can come to the house and be around, I'm going to be a dad. And people, they just forget that. Now, this is the thing. If he was broke and he wasn't getting no money, she wouldn't even be with him anyway. Let's talk about it. If he was broke and wasn't getting no money, she wouldn't even be with him anyway. People be wanting their cake and ice cream too. And she's probably mad. Cause it's just like a lot of people when they work a lot of hours. You get out, you be tired. I be tired. You want me to come in after I've been working like a motherfucker. And then you want me to lay with the baby 10, 11 hours and I'm about to fall on my face and I'm sleeping. Come on, man. That ain't fair to the men in America. It's not. You just tuned into another motherfucking episode of Legend of Coming. And yeah, I'm in your baby mama's stomach. Do something with yourself. Do something with your life.